name's Sebastian. I'm a salesperson here at RSM Honda, and today I'm going to be showcasing the 2019 Honda Insight Touring Trim Level. This Honda Insight is actually one of the most affordable hybrids available in its class. This is the Touring Trim Level, meaning it is the top of the line, so it's fully loaded with all the bells and whistles. 2019, it's back and it's better than ever. As you can see, it looks similar to a Honda Accord in the front fascia. It's got a sporty and sleek style and appearance. This Honda Insight is comparable to the Toyota Prius in many ways. You guys might notice a lot of similar features, so that's going to be its main competitor. The Insight is extremely compact, so that's something that actually strikes me as a consumer. If I was in the market for another vehicle or a hybrid vehicle of the likes of this, I would be head over heels for the Insight just because of its size. Now, Honda Clarity, on the other hand, is a little bit more bulky and it's a lot bigger, but that could also be a certain cup of tea for that type of consumer who's looking for something a little bit more spacious. But now we're talking about compact, still pretty roomy on the inside. So this 2019 Honda Insight Touring Trim Level actually runs for a sticker price of $29,000 and some change. And again, really honing in on that affordability aspect. So 51 miles per gallon highway, about 49 miles per gallon city, and about a total of about 48 to 51 combined. Not to mention this color, it's cosmic blue. It's one of my personal favorites that Honda has released. I'm really glad that they offered it for this vehicle just because of the similarities to the Accord. I can't really get over the fact that this hybrid vehicle, though it is a hybrid and it's efficient on gas, still looks like it's somewhat of a sports car. You know what I mean? Usually it's a give or take with those types of vehicles. You get the sporty appearance, but you sacrifice the gas and fuel efficiency. Or you get the fuel efficiency, but you sacrifice that sporty or sleek appearance. So I'm really glad that Honda kind of did a well-rounded, take at this 2019. A real big difference from the first gen or even the second gen. So let's go ahead and jump on in and see what else the 2019 Honda Insight Touring Trim Level has to offer. Come on. So the 2019 Honda Insight. Let me open this up here so we get a little bit more light. Okay. So I guess first things first, you guys can see we do have a sunroof in the vehicle. So the Insight does have a push to tilt button. So you just push it and it starts to move. You can also push it back and then, tilt it up as well. We'll go ahead and close that back up. So you do have your light configuration here. So you can select it's a door, and every time you open the door, the lights will come on, or you can just leave it off. Right now, just wanted to briefly go over the all-weather floor mats that are currently coming in handy. As I mentioned earlier, it's really rainy and dirty and muddy and gross outside, so these really do a good job at protecting your carpets on the interior of the vehicle. This is kind of like a hard rubber or like a hard plastic material. So that flashing blue light under there, that's going to be our alarm system. It's telling us that it is engaged, and if anybody did try to break into the vehicle would not start, and then anything stolen out of the vehicle up to $2,000 would then be replaced by the insurance or alarm company. You can ask to have that kept in the vehicle when you do go into finance to pick up your own Honda Insight. As for the steering wheel, we do have a couple of buttons here. So we have our volume up and down buttons with our track left and right seek buttons. We have this home button that's going to start toggling different menus up here on the dash. You hit this to return home, so these are going to work in conjunction with one another. We have our answer, our hang up, and then our voice command buttons, our horn that works. We have our adaptive cruise control settings here, resume, cancel, and set. We have our main toggle buttons. So what that's going to do, that's going to toggle part of your Honda Sensing suite, the adaptive cruise control and the lane keep assist system. This is going to be the low speed follow. When I turn on the car, I'll be sure to demonstrate, but each little marker or blimp is an indicator of how far the distance is between your vehicle and the other person's. This button right here is going to be lane keep assist. It's pretty self-explanatory. When it's on, it will help keep you centered in your lane. Now, these paddles on the back side of the steering wheel, now, they're not paddle shifters, they're actually deceleration selectors, which is just another term for regenerative braking. Granted, this is a hybrid, but it's not a plug-in, so you can't simply plug in your vehicle to charge the battery. Instead, by toggling these every time you brake, it'll, charge your battery more and more and more. On the left side, we have our pretty standard features, our left and right mirror adjusters. We have the lock and unlock buttons, the child lock button, then our 2 automatic front and passenger windows. Something that's reasonable to note, most vehicles only have one one USB charger here. This Touring actually comes with quite a few. It comes with 2. And these are superchargers. These are both Android Auto and Apple CarPlay compatible. And these are just going to charge your phone pretty fast. So that's always a plus. There's a very textured like phone grip for your phone. So when you're driving on those road trips or to work or wherever it may be, your phone's not going to be sliding around every time you take turns. We have our Econ button, our Sport button, and our electric vehicle button. Let me peel this back here so you guys can see it a little bit better. Each one is pretty self-explanatory. You just press it to enable the function and press it again to disable it. There is these shifter buttons here, so park, reverse, neutral, drive. This is our electric parking brake. And then our brake hold feature. This is basically going to hold the brake for us when the vehicle comes to a complete stop. It's great for those long, stop and go traffic commutes, or, you're going to the drive-thru to go pick up food and you just want to let your foot off of the brake for a little bit. That's what that's good for. As for these buttons right here, we have our trip meter with the brightness indicator here. I usually have that all the way up. Our fuel tank button, and then this is our Honda Sensing Suite. So this is going to be that other half. It's going to have the road departure mitigation system. It's also going to have that collision mitigation braking system there. And then below that's going to be your, vehicle stability assist button, or traction control as some of you may know it. Let's go ahead and turn on the vehicle just so you guys can hear and see what it looks like when everything's up and running. This is similar to the Honda Clarity, where when you turn it on, you don't really know that it's on until the vehicle starts running out of battery or charge, or you're accelerating above 25-30 miles an hour. And this also is a push to start, so as long as you have the fob on you or near you in the vehicle, go ahead and press this button and it starts on up. As you can see, it says ready to drive here. So right now we're trying to put it into EV mode, and it's telling us that it can't because the engine is too cold. So right now you guys are hearing the engine. So once the vehicle does warm up and you guys are driving it a little bit and you wanted to swap it into that electric mode, that electric radius or range is actually only about a mile or so. So you can use that regenerative braking. The purpose of the electric portion is with the acceleration part of it, right? EV and hybrid powertrains actually work better with each other because you can use a little bit of electricity to jumpstart your car in a sense, right? To get you up to a certain speed limit, and then the regular engine takes over. So then, you're going from 0 to 15, and then once you're at 15 and up, then the regular engine kicks in and it takes you to however fast you need to go. It's really good. It uses less gas, so that's where the fuel efficiency comes into play. But don't buy this car thinking that it's going to be like a Tesla or a Clarity or, something of the sort. This is mainly just good for the gas efficiency. If you want something electric that has a little bit more of an electric range, go for the Clarity, because that has a 47-mile range on just a full charge, and it takes about 2.5 hours depending on what kind of charger you're using. So this Touring trim actually comes fully equipped with all the bells and whistles, things of that nature. But one of my favorite things is it does have the navigation. When you first turn on the car, it automatically loads up. So as you can see, we're in RSM Honda right now. You can zoom out, and it is kind of terrain-like or geographical. You can see a little bit of the mountain ranges. You can move this around, and a little bit of the terrain kind of moves up and down. So that's always pretty fun. Now, as I mentioned, this car is Apple CarPlay and Android Auto compatible. I don't have the cord with me right now, but when you do have your phone plugged in, this smartphone connection button would either say Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, at which that time you press it and your screen from your smartphone would emulate onto the vehicle screen, and you can send text messages, access directions, make phone calls, listen to music, etc. It's a great feature. It's super handy. If you guys have questions or want to see a little bit more in depth about Apple CarPlay, be sure to check out our other video. I did do a review on it and kind of went a little more hands-on. Another cool feature about the Honda Insight is the power flow. So when you're driving, it'll actually show you where the power is coming from and where it's being distributed, and your total range, of course, and how much gas or how efficient you are being on your current drive. So the car is always telling you how to be a better driver in a sense. Pretty cool feature there to always be up to date. You have your classic trip computer. It's the same kind of deal, except you're not getting your power outlay or readings or anything like that. It's pretty standard with your range. We have our FM button, our settings button, and then our phone button to make some phone calls if we did have our phone connected via Bluetooth. This is touchscreen, so you can move it. It does come with a 3-month Sirius XM subscription. this AT&T hotspot, you can actually have Wi-Fi in your vehicle. It is an additional subscription, but in my opinion, if you guys are going on road trips or anything like that, this is definitely worth the buy. We have our USB 1 and USB 2, so let's say both of you guys are plugged in. You can choose which one has priority. Last but not least, the Honda Link feature. So you do get a 3-month subscription to the Honda Link package when you first purchase the vehicle. There are different tiers and different levels of what you can purchase. I recommend the concierge level. It is the most expensive, but if you're a businessman or you're a busy person, you don't have time to set appointments or, you know, whatever, just think of it as your 24/7 personal assistant. You have a request, you call up Honda Link, you press the button. The Honda Link button is actually right here, so if you do have that concierge, you know, subscription enabled, you just press that button. Hey Honda, I'd really like you to set up reservations to, you know, Mastro's at 7 o'clock tonight. Everything else is pretty standard here. We have our dual climate control center. So if we turn this on, you can edit your fan speed here, and your passenger can have whatever climate they would like. You can have whatever climate you would like, and then you can always hit the sync button, and the passengers would sync to the driver's temperature settings. We have our seat heaters here. Passenger and driver can set their own desired level of heat. Let's see if we can swap it into EV mode now that the car's been running a little bit. So I just turned EV mode on, and as you guys can hear, the vehicle is completely silent. So that's what the vehicle sounds like when you're on the exterior of the cabin. That sound is actually really good for people who might be blind, you know, because all of these newer electric vehicles, they're really quiet. Hats off to Honda, they really did kind of hone in on the safety feature, not only for the driver, but for the people around the vehicle as well. So again, every time you're going pretty slow, that car will make that noise and everyone around you will know, hey, there's a car nearby. I'm actually a really big fan of this interior color with the interior color of like the black contrast and the seats and all that great stuff. It really adds a nice luxury feel. These leather seats are actually pretty plush. They do have the seat heater in them, so that's gonna be really good for those cold days, that rainy weather. The back seat, as I mentioned, it does look similar to an Accord. Now the car is compact, but there is more than enough room for a passenger. As you can see, there's still adequate amount of legroom, and these seats are super comfortable as well. So you can guarantee your passengers a comfortable ride. As you guys can see, this thing is fully loaded, and I really did want to talk one last time about the affordability of this vehicle. Now this retails about $29,000 and some change for a fully loaded hybrid vehicle that's fuel efficient, that's stylish, and it's super comfortable and reliable. It's a Honda, and what better way to say I love Hondas than to buy one from RSM Honda. So come on down, be sure to leave us a comment, like, subscribe. Make sure you guys visit the website, and if you guys have any questions, you can always call us, 949-713-2000. And that website's www.rsmhonda.com. Make sure you guys watch all of our other videos. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can always stay up to date on all of our future videos, our car reveals, our vlogs, and we are going to be doing that Sinopolis giveaway, a second round, in the near future, so stay tuned. Make sure you follow us on Instagram as well, because that's where we're going to be posting the details. But until next time, guys.